Hello, this is Jason with Disciple Makers, coming to you today with a new topic. Today's topic is witnessing or sharing our faith for the Lord. This is something we should be doing as Christians on a regular basis. Many of us fear it, avoid it, and would rather just be a quiet Christian attending church. But we're expected to do it. There's simpler ways to do it. We don't have to have all the answers. We don't have to be experts at it, but we need to put our best foot forward. If you join me in the Bible, the book of Acts, in fact, Acts chapter 1, verse 8 says, "But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem and all Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth." So we're expected to do this. We don't have to drive hundreds of miles or fly thousands of miles across the Atlantic to go to parts of the world that's never heard of Christ. We can do it in our own circles. Kudos to those who do that. I can't imagine what time it takes and really dedication to go out of the country into an unknown land to speak and help people that don't speak our language. But I'm talking about the things we can do and the people we come across in our circles that on a regular basis that we have the opportunity to share our faith. So what am I talking about? So in our circles, we have people we work with, people we run into at the grocery, people at our kids' school, little league games, you name it, gas stations, whatever. You know the friendly faces, but maybe you don't know a lot about them. But maybe you have acquaintances or even friends that you work with that you've had conversation about their kids, their family. You know some things about them, you maybe even know their political stance, but you've never shared your faith. You've never been a witness for Christ in their lives. And this time, hopefully this gives you opportunities and ideas to be able to break that ice and to create that dialogue that you've been wanting to create. I found it's easier to point people to Christ than to, straight up go for the gusto and ask if they're saved and if they would like to be saved. I think most people would take a different approach when initially bringing up these things. One thing, especially at work, that I found, you may have a bulletin board where you can share things, events coming up, is to invite people to announce events at the church. Some churches have revivals, evening singings, concerts, invitations for Christmas service, Easter service, stuff like that's coming up. Maybe at the movies at church, maybe your church does that. Those are all great things to invite people to, and opportunities to really engage somebody, to ask if they have a church, and tell them some things you like about it and that you'd really like them to go. That shows you care. And something else you can do along those lines is if somebody's having a bad day, maybe they're having a really bad day, or their family's having issues, and they're open enough to talk to you about that kind of stuff. Ask to pray with them, or you can even ask them, is there something I can pray for you? Or can I put you on a prayer list? And those are easy things that share your faith. It also shows that you care, and that you're willing to lift them up to your God that you trust. And in this case, it was Jesus Christ. And so the other thing that you want to do is, along those lines at work is, always be the good employee, go the extra mile. If somebody needs help, be the first to help. You're on a stage, God, you're working for God. and no matter who your boss is, God's your real boss, and all eyes are on you as a witness. Something to avoid: water cooler talk, talking about somebody else. It's not only the things you do, it's the things you don't do. Maybe you're not going for drinks after work. People notice that. People notice that you don't talk about people behind their back. Abstaining from those things really give you show your character, and show that you care about other people, and people are more likely to listen to you if you bring up something that's talks about your relationship with Christ. Something that I do that tends to get some attention and it helps break the ice is, I don't know if you can see it, but I have this shirt on. It's a witness shirt, and so I wear that, and then I've also got a hat. I got a few of these and different shirts that I wear. I wear those in public places, at the gym I go to, in the grocery store. I'll wear them, and the first time I wore them, I was really self-conscious, and I looked around and saw I got some side glances, like, here comes the holy roller and the Jesus freak. But people have to make a decision on how they're going to respond when they see it. They got to go one way or the other. And I've had good responses. I've had people, give me the heads up, that they'll come to me and say they like my shirt. Where did I get it? Where do I go to church? These are all great icebreaker dialogues that you can, really delve deep and ask them questions back, if they have the courage enough to bring it up to you. Something it does for me is it's a reminder that, I need to be thinking the right way, looking at the right things, listening to the right things, being an ambassador for Jesus in my daily walk, and to avoid, walking in the flesh. It keeps my mind straight and on path. It's a reminder. Something else that, in turn, that I notice is I'm looking at other people's clothing too. When I see somebody wearing something similar, like at the gym, I saw a guy about a month ago, and he had, I can't remember what the shirt was, but I liked it, and I went up to him and I said, "Hey, I like your shirt. Where'd you get it?" And it kind of caught him off guard, but he did come around, and I got to know his name, and come to find out he goes to a church that's in my city, but it's a fellow church that is big on outreach. But anyway, what that does for me is it witnesses to the lost, but it also reinforces why we are disciples in the first place, is to be a witness to the lost and hold each other up as disciple makers, to hopefully make new disciples ourselves. So it's kind of a synergy thing. When you get around other Christians, we kind of prop each other up. Something else you can do is be a volunteer. Volunteer to soup kitchen, homeless shelters, feed the homeless. If you wear apparel and you're feeding the homeless, you can really engage in conversation with fellow believers, as well as the lost that are coming through the line. And acts of kindness enable you to bring up witnessing opportunities as well. We're not trying to save people. We can't save people. If you're witnessing and your goal is to get everybody to pray a prayer of salvation, you're going to be disappointed, because not everybody's at that point. God works in mysterious ways. He's calling us to be seed planters and waterers. He'll do the heavy lifting, and he'll maybe use other people and work in mysterious ways to get that lost person saved. But together, we need to do our part. One last thing is, if you're looking for ways to break the ice and, get people thinking is get caught being a Christian. What I mean by that is I got a good friend that at work on his breaks, he's caught being a Christian by praying or opening his, on his breaks, he's reading the Bible. And you walk by his car, there he is reading his Bible. And, it just causes you to think, wow, he must have a really good faith. He's got a strong faith in the Lord. Something else you can do is be caught praying. If you're praying for somebody and somebody walks by, and they may ask, "Hey, what are you praying about?" And then now you got a group conversation going on. It just spreads. Another thing that I just thought of is I got this cross that hangs from my mirror. When I'm driving, people walk by. I'm at a stoplight. People look over and they see it. Just little subtle things that you can do to be a witness, to get people thinking. Something else I do, have these leave behind things. It's not always the best idea to leave things behind because it gets thrown out. But the good thing about it is, if you can incorporate it in a conversation, even better. But if the good thing about leaving things behind, in a worst case scenario, is somebody's got to come through and pick that up and decide, do I look at it, do I take it serious, or do I just throw it away? So either way, they've got to make a decision. It's all a matter of getting that thought into someone's mind. So anyway, these are ways that I've used to kind of get me over the hump of sharing my faith and getting over the fear of rejection. And I think that's the thing that we fear the most is, the what ifs, and, most things that you fear don't end up happening anyway. So if you've got good ideas on how to witness and share your faith, share on the comments. If something I said triggered an idea for you, or you got a good takeaway, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. If you like what you see, there'll be more of these topics, on a regular basis. Look for new videos as they're uploaded. And until we meet again, take care and God bless.